it's always going to be a different start to these interviews. But there's only a handful of people that could have done this. Quite honestly, this man booked an interview. Now, I told him, it's an open invitation. You just click that link, schedule the interview. I will be there. And this man decided to schedule an interview for NBA's opening night. I am missing the return of Round Ball Rock to talk to my man Danny J. Quick about the Ballad of the Black Rose. Because issue 2 is finally coming. It's finally coming to Kickstarter. You can get issues 1 and 2. By the time you're hearing this, Kickstarter is live now. So links already in the description. Just go to comicsaredope.com/Black Rose and you can back the campaign. But we're here to talk about it. We're here to talk about it. What's up, Danny? How are you, man?
BJ, LeBron is not playing, so it does not matter. Like
I don't care if the Lakers
tonight,
are playing opening night.
LeBron James is out right now. The opening night does not mean anything right now.
The opening, I just told you, the opening night means the return of Round Ball Rock.
Yes, I'm
But
with you.
but I did catch like the opening of the OKC and Houston game,
Okay.
and that joint was crazy. I retweeted a tweet that said this joint buffering like an old QuickTime download like that. Peacock was looking insane. Like I'll catch it on the replay. I'm good.
Man, these new streaming options are like they are really iffy. Like I don't know if you watched the Jake Paul Tyson fight. Like Netflix, bro, like Netflix has been doing this long enough that they should have figured it out. But here we are.
Yeah, yeah, and I haven't had cable in years, and it used to be like, oh, I'm not spending money on cable. Now I'm spending cable money on streaming. I just got an email about HBO Max going up $2. It's
Bro.
like, what are we doing?
Everything is going up. I think Netflix went up, Prime went up. So I literally am like a seasonal watcher. I will watch something for a season, or I'll wait until the season is over and then binge it for like I'll get 1 month of the subscription and I
Hmm.
will cancel it. Like I am that is my life now. Like I will set my reminder for like my 7 day free trial and I will go back in there and cancel that thing, man. If you ain't got nothing else on your platform that I want to watch,
Hmm.
I don't need it.
Or I'm trying to decide now. Last year I did Sling TV to get
Mm.
me through the NBA season, and I pretty much had all the games I wanted to watch. But now, since everything is streaming on all these different platforms that I got already, there's some games on Amazon.
Hmm.
There's games on Peacock. There's one that I'm missing. Oh no, HBO Max has some games too. No, no, no. They lost Turner. They lost
No,
Turner.
ESPN,
Turner
ESPN,
lost to ESPN. Disney Plus is gonna have games,
right,
or Hulu, whichever.
right.
But it's like, and then you get League Pass, but you can't watch home games on League
Can watch Home
Pass.
Pass. Can watch Hornets on League Pass, and I actually want to see some Hornets games this year. Like,
So it's wild. They got to figure this out. So I don't think I'm gonna renew my League Pass. I'm gonna wait it out, see how the first couple months go, and then I'll go hard once playoffs hit. Once playoffs start, and I'll probably go and up some subscriptions.
right now, I got Prime, and I'll watch whatever's on there. But around All Star time, I will pay for YouTube TV, and I'll just watch all the games.
Fair, fair. So besides NBA basketball, which clearly we're passionate about here, uh, what else has been going on in your world?
Man, nothing crazy, man. Me and the fam went to the fair this weekend. We had a good time. We spent way too much money. But that's the fair. That literally the North Carolina State Fair is the thing that you have to do if you're a family in North Carolina. So uh, we went and we had a good time, and my PTSD didn't act up too bad, and we got home safe. So that's a blessing.
Where my first real date with my wife was to the North Carolina State Fair,
Oh wow.
or one of the first. Yeah, no, I think that was actually the first,
Mm.
and we ain't been since. Um, that we've been married 12 years, so it's been
Yeah,
a
I mean, but it's hard to go with babies though. I mean, like small ones are hard to experience the fair with. Yeah, so
yeah.
I
I
understand.
have retired from the fair. Uh, my mom. took the kids to the fair this weekend. They came home with a goldfish and a bunch of little trinkets.
They had live goldfish out there that you could win this time, which is crazy. But also, like, yeah, I had retired from the fair for a long time too. Like I said, when I came back from Iraq, it was hard for me to do large crowds, and the fair was absolutely the worst for me. And then also, there's another story about me getting lost as a kid at the fair, so that didn't help. But you know, these last 2 years, we braved the crowds, and everything worked out fine. So, I say go back, man. Go sometime this week. Go on a weekday if you can. Like just take a day during the week and go out there. Take the kids, and you'll be fine.
They still do can day.
Yeah, Thursday.
Okay. Okay. We'll see. We'll see. I doubt it, but
Hey,
you know what? There was some interesting. I saw somebody has a fried lamb chop that they're selling at the fair.
the food, man.
A deep fried lamb chop sounds amazing. My man from Oak City Fish and Chips still has like the crab on a stick joint with the
Mhm.
lemon on top.
Mm.
That joint looks good. All right, listen, we don't went on an NBA tangent. We're about to go on a fair food tangent.
Hey, before we move on, the crack and cheese is as good as advertised, and the same place that does the crack and cheese has the soul food egg roll. That
Mm,
is, it's an egg roll with macaroni and cheese and collard greens on the inside. That was the best thing that I had while I was at the fair.
word.
Okay, now we can talk about comics.
Do
All
they
right, cool.
still have like that old Baptist church that sells the country ham biscuits?
I don't
They
think
used
so.
to be over
I
there
don't
by
think
the
so.
farm exhibits. And I mean, it's just old, plain old country ham biscuits, nothing special, but they're amazing.
I don't think so. If they do, I didn't see them, but there's a lot of stuff out there, bro. Oh, and
Word.
the giant pumpkins. The bro, they had these 1,200-pound pumpkins out there that were bigger than me, bro. Like when I tell you, it's like seeing something from prehistoric times. I know I'm getting old because stuff like that excites me. Like, like the state winner, like they
You went
had
to you went to the little contest to see who had the biggest hog
oh,
this year?
the dude explained to us like the science behind like how they germinate the last year's winner, and they said like they sell the seeds for $50 a pop, and like it's really like a big business, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
Mhm.
yo, this is great. Me and Tiana are like, we need to get some seeds and grow some stuff because we grow squash in the back. We're
Uh,
like, we could have won one of these things, but anyway, I digress.
carrying a trailer from Burlington to Raleigh for the state fair is crazy. To have just one pumpkin on it, you're living in it
Bro,
like Stinky from Hey Arnold. That's crazy. Yo, that's wild. All right, tangents on tangents.
every time.
So we're here to talk about Ballad of the Black Rose, issue number 2, um, which is among my favorites of the things that you've done because it's just so different. Like one of the things we don't see in comics very often are westerns for
Yeah.
whatever reason anymore. And here we are with this dope western featuring a black family, which is always going to be cool in my book. Black people doing cool stuff, as we've said on this show before. Um, and remind me, because I have the images in my head, but remind me of like the plot for issue 1.
All right. Well, the Ballad of the Black Rose is about a family trying to start a new life in the Wild West, but an entity behind the hills in the hills behind their home gets them in trouble with the law. All right. So it's a western, but it's got a sci-fi twist.
Mhm.
Um, the family, the Rose family, um, Deja Rose, the mom, and Boss Rose, they have a checkered past, I would say. They were both Deja was a card shark, and Boss was basically a mercenary. And they met each other, they fell in love, they had this daughter, and they decided to leave that past behind them. And then they went to settle down, and there's an entity in the hills behind their home that it's just an old wives' tale that they didn't think was real, and it gets them in trouble with the law, and that's where their adventure starts. the entity interacts with their daughter, Primrose, and the adventure is kind of figuring out what's wrong with their baby girl, and the law is chasing after them because of some of the things that happens in the first issue. So yeah, it's different, man. And I think with Bequest Studios, me, Wally, and Ro and Morgan, that quote from years ago where somebody was like, I want to see black characters in dragons and in fairy tales and stuff like that. Like we really took that to heart, and we want to make some different things, but also things that we love and enjoy, man. Like I love westerns. I'll watch 10 episodes of The Rifleman right now, bro. Like I just Matlock was one of my favorite things growing up. I don't know if Matlock is considered a western, but I know the Andy Griffith Show kind of is. So I love those things.
Neither of those are westerns.
The Andy Griffith Show is a western.
Andy Griffith
It's
Show is not a western.
what? How
That
not?
man is in Mayberry, North Carolina. There is nothing west about Andy.
That's the style of a western, I guess. I mean, like he's the sheriff in a
He
small
carries a
town, and
gun.
I mean Barney carried a gun every now and then. But you know what I mean. Or I'll say Gunsmoke, The Rifleman,
Uh,
Bonanza. Bonanza's a western for sure.
that's for sure.
Okay, so but yeah, I love those shows. And it's but we didn't see a lot of black people in them for sure. Um as they were getting put out.
Yeah.
Um so I think it's pretty cool to because black people existed during that time, and they were in the Wild West, and some of the first cowboys I think were black people. So man, I just think it's a cool story about a family, and throwing the sci-fi elements into it gives it a really interesting twist. So I hope people rock with it. It's Olivia's favorite book. She's my baby girl. I mean, she's not really a baby no more, but it's her favorite story of mine. And she's been asking for issue 2, since the first one came out. And I was like, I gotta get these done. It's only gonna be 7 issues anyway, so I gotta get these done. And I'm happy that we're putting the second one out.
All right. Now, Kyron drew the first issue.
Mm-hmm.
Kyron Silva, my homie, who I finally met at Heroes Con this past summer, which was dope.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, it's always great when you meet somebody and it feels like you already know them. Like, oh wait, we did just meet. Huh? Is he on issue 2 as well?
Yeah. I'm trying to get Kyron and Veronica for the whole series. That's one of my main things for this. Like I said, it's just going to be 7 issues. I already have the plots and everything written out. I don't have the panels and page layouts for 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, but I know what the story is. I've known what the story is from the beginning, and I think people are in for a wild ride. But these first 2 issues really give you a good barometer for if it's something that you'll enjoy. You really get to meet the family in the first issue, and then the second issue really sets them off on the adventure. So these first 2 issues are really going to be important to know, to find a fan base for Ballad of the Black Rose.
Word. Now, we're recording this interview pre-launch, so I got no views on the first day prize. Like, you like to do all sorts of surprises, right, with these campaigns. Like, oh, if you follow the pre-launch page and you're the first 3 people to back, you'll get gold bars with your comic. Like, what we got for Ballad of the Black Rose issues 1 and 2?
So we are doing something special for the first few backers, okay? And this one is like, me, man. I like to try to do something different, but also I like to take what I've learned from the past and apply it to today. All right. So the first few backers are always so important. The first 10, 20, 30 backers, the first 30% of your goal is so important that I've decided to bribe people. I'm bribing people to get them to pledge. So the first 5 backers are going to get their own sheriff badge for the Sheriff of Rags Edge, which is the fictional town that the story is placed in. And then on top of that, the first 10 backers are going to get their own 3D printed Ace Blade logo. Okay. So first 5 get these. And if you're the first 5, you'll get one of these also. Then we're also going to have more things for the first 15, 20, and 25 backers. We're going to have stickers, we're going to have pins, we're going to have bookmarks, and a mini print. So the first 25 backers are going to get something added to their pledge for free. And, just to bribe people to get in early. I think that's important these days to try to beat the algorithms.
Okay,
Right.
so we got the first day backer prizes. We got these 3D printed badges. What do these badges earn you?
You get to be the sheriff. You literally are gonna get to be the sheriff for one day. I am all about the saying when it comes to Kickstarters that when it comes to crowdfunding, that if you get the crowd involved, the funding will follow, right? If you can get a crowd of people who are passionate about your project and you can get them involved, then the funding will take care of itself. So I'm literally going to be inviting like the first 5 people to give me input. Like I want to hear if they care enough about it to pledge on the first day, in the first few hours, then they're clearly somebody who's been following, who's been, taking note and wants to be involved. So I'm going to be talking to these people, like the first 5, 10, 20 people. I'm going to be reaching out to them. I even made a post today saying that I need 25 people. I need 25 people to help me, spread the word on this thing. So um, it's an opportunity to kind of really get face to face with me and be part of the creative process. But the badge and the title of sheriff, comes with that. So um, but then we're also doing we're putting the people's names in the books. In the second book, we got a space in book 2 to have people's names in books. So those first 5 people are going to be the sheriffs of Rags Edge. Like I'm going to have a special space for them in the book. So I think that that's a cool thing, something a little bit different to highlight people. So yeah,
That's dope. That's dope. I kind of I'm gonna try to be among these first five backers.
there
I'm gonna
we
see
go.
if Kyron can draw me into the background without making me look like old boy from Walker, Texas Ranger. Right.
Yeah,
That,
yeah.
that's what I need. Right. Maybe throw me in there with a baseball cap, even
Hey,
in the small.
Kyron will do it, man. I don't want to give no spoilers away, but he put a Easter egg in the second book that made me laugh. Like he's Kyron's a good dude, man. I do the Four Tales podcast with him, and he's just a creative at heart, man. He loves to put his stamp on things, and I'm just happy to be working with him, man. He's a great dude.
Yeah, man. He's got so many amazing projects like Lumberjacks and nah, I'm playing. Uh, but he does have Ruby from Planet Oz, which I just saw make a little cameo appearance in the comic shop series, which
Yeah,
was really dope.
yeah, yeah. It's awesome, man. And I shout out to Cayenne. Is it Cheyenne? Cheyenne and the whole
Cheyenne.
comic shop, team, man. That first season was fun, especially that last episode. That last episode was really good. So shout out to them. I think they are wrapping up their Kickstarter to try to get some funding for the second season. So hopefully they get to keep making that show because I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it very much. I gotta figure out like I kind of want to use the theme song for a vlog, but I don't want to get a copyright strike. But like,
I mean, she be online. I'm sure you can get in contact with her.
where
So
I have to
who knows?
call somebody that knows somebody, see how it goes.
You got some connections there, man. I know you. I know you know that you can contact Stephanie Williams, and Stephanie Williams has an inside line for you. I know you can make that happen.
I mean, listen, you never know. You never know who knows what or
Yeah,
whom, right?
yeah.
Anyway, so back to Ballad of the Black Rose. Now, you talked about your love for westerns like Andy Griffith and Matlock. I'm
Yes, yes.
these interviews get more and more unhinged. At this point, the whole interview is an inside joke. But you
You're
know,
right.
I too, I have a grandmother, and I spent a lot of time at grandma's house watching, Gunsmoke, Bonanza, um, all these hour-long dramas.
And the
Columbo is
heat of
not
the
at all
night,
a Western, but
but
go
the
ahead.
end of the heat of the night is not a Western either.
It's also not a Western, but it's that same genre. Like the whole genre is just drama for old people, right?
Right.
Like I put that all in the same bucket as Little House on the Prairie, Murder She Wrote. What's the other one? Columbo is probably my favorite of all of those.
I
But
never watched Columbo, but yeah,
oh, you got to watch Columbo. Like
yeah.
Columbo, it holds up today.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you got to watch Columbo. Columbo is great.
I'll put it
Um,
on.
you know, and Mash. Mash is the one I could never really get with.
Yeah, Mash was. I mean, they had a great theme song, but Mash was not for me. I don't know if MacGyver fits in that same, time zone,
Mm,
but MacGyver was one of my favorites. Like yeah, me and Tiana was actually watching MacGyver the other day, like the first season. So yeah, all those shows, man, they're so nostalgic, and you watching them now in 2025, like you see some things that are like socially like they weren't thinking of back then, but like
hmm
they seem so wholesome at the time,
hmm
and but yeah, that's kind of the vibe that we're going for. Like this is a Ballad of Black Rose is about a family, and it's about a simpler time when it was just a man and his word and a woman and her word and a family trying to make it work. And no technology to get in the way, but there is, mythicals. There's mythical creatures out there. There's myths and stories that you don't know if they're true or not. And we get to see that. And I think that that's, kind of the mystique of some of that time then is like you hear all these stories about these things that happen and one person telling another person, this person telling another person, it becomes this larger than life thing. And you know, but I can guarantee you that this is not a myth. What's happening to them is really happening to them.
It
um,
wasn't a dream. It really happened.
yeah, it really happened. So yeah, but it's just a callback to that time, and hopefully there's some people our age that will enjoy it, but also like I said, Olivia enjoys it, and she's young, and you know literally getting her away from her tablet and to read a book is like an act of Congress. So for her to put down Roblox for a minute and to say, "Hey, I want to read this book," is really kind of the highest compliment.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's first of all, and getting kids into a book, period, is amazing. Squeak is a part of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library.
Okay.
So every month for the last 4 years, they've been sending books in the mail.
Hmm.
And so it's always fun. It's always a fun time at the mailbox when that book comes in and she's like, yes. And you could tell very quickly if something's gonna pass her test, like if she wants to read it or not. Right now, it's called like, is it Eleanor's best friend or something like that? This girl that wants to eat tacos all the time. But anyway, um, I think it's amazing to be able to get kids involved. Another book that um, my older daughter, was enamored with was The Search for Sadaka, Greg
Yeah,
Burnham's book. And I loved it as well. I just backed the graphic novel, so hopefully I get that soon.
yeah.
That's issue, I think, 0 and 1. I grabbed at NC Comic Con back
Hmm.
when you and Wally were there tabling, and Greg was there, so we grabbed that. And I haven't seen that book since. She like really took to it.
Shit, hey, this belongs to me now, Dad. I know you got your own collection and all this stuff, but this one is mine. I understand.
Right, right. But I
Sadaka,
mean,
Sadaka is a great story too. Like that's again one of those things that you don't see, especially a young black girl in that time frame. A story where she's the lead, and like I think Scott Snyder said it. I think he tweeted about it or he put it on Threads today. He was talking about there's so many great indie books out right now. There's so many stories that are being told from so many different perspectives and it's really a great time for comics. I know people always say comics are dying and all this stuff, but there's really a lot of stuff out here for people. Um, to get into, and there's always something for somebody, especially now.
Yeah, for sure. We're coming up on November, which for me means channel anniversary. But it also means like it's time to really think about like best of lists and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And by far, 2025 is the hardest year to try to choose what the best of the year was. Like even like in the big two, you got the big Ultimate Universe stuff, you got Absolute Universe
Absolute
stuff,
universe stuff, yeah.
Energon and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came back in a big way
Man,
last year.
yeah. They had
Like,
some great crossovers this year. Like, yeah, a lot of good stuff.
yeah, it's there's a lot. And then the indies. I have never had this many indie books on my pull list. Like, and I mean like from the Image and IDWs of the world all the way to like Kickstarter. Like I just got what they call it, super backer or power backer
Oh
status on
yeah, super
Kickstarter.
backers, yeah.
Like that's how much dope stuff is coming out every month. Um, so yeah, it's a great time to be into comics. I think there is still the divide, I would say. Like I feel like there's a line, a glass ceiling, if you will, that's kind of hard to break through with
Hmm.
indie comics. And it's like there's this curtain, but once you peek behind that curtain and you see like all this other stuff that's available on, Kickstarter or like digitally on platforms like Global Comics, it's like, yo, when you get into that world, it's like there's so much that I did not know comics
Yeah.
could do or be. And I love it.
Yeah, I think there's a like if you're a regular comic shop goer and that's what you do, you just go to the comic book store and you get what's there. There's enough for you there. There's enough to sustain you at the comic book store. But if you get on Kickstarter, if you if you get on Global Comics, you can find some amazing stuff there. There's a lot more content and a lot more options out there that and sometimes we want to do traditional distribution, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we don't have the audience to sustain that right now or to support that right now. And maybe there's not a infrastructure to support that because who knows, how Penguin is gonna what, Diamond did what Diamond did. And, there's no real way for indies to get into nationwide distribution right now. But there's a delineation there. And if you see one side, you can go that way. If you see the other side, you can go that way. Or if you're like us and you just love all the comics, you can do that. You can get DCKO, and then you can get on Kickstarter and get Ballad of the Black Rose or Search for Sadaka. Like, or well, I don't. Stephanie didn't do uh Kickstarters for her books, but Temporal was great. Roots of
Yeah.
Madness. Like, there's so many great things, man.
Yeah. I was just talking to and Stephen Harris and Rael Nagasta of
Mm,
Indigo Clan. And that book looks amazing. So
right.
I can't wait for that campaign to end so I can get that book in the mail. Like there's a whole lot that Kickstarter has to offer.
I saw that clip that you posted. It was like, I mean, it was cool black people. I'm in. Like, it's the
That's
black people making stuff. I'm in on it. I was like, okay, that makes sense to me.
right, right. Perfect answer. But yeah, so let me ask you this, and I feel like I ask you a variation of this question fairly often, but I feel like there is a lesson to learn with every Kickstarter campaign. You got what, 9, 10 issues of Ace Blade out at this point. We've had several issues of Lumberjacks. The graphic novel just wrapped for Lumberjacks. We've had projects for Bequest, right? Like, so there's the Scarlet Ranger and Pakuma. Wiley just did Pakuma. That book was amazing. Elton is on the way. Like, there's so many books on the way that you've had a hand in. Um, and I'm always curious to know, like, what lessons you learn. And I'm especially curious to like hear how Black Rose has sort of informed your creativity or scratched that itch in a way that Ace Blade hasn't, being that Ace Blade is kind of straight up superhero stuff.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, especially like I consider myself a marketer, especially when it comes to comic books. I do a lot of marketing and posting content, and I think I've learned over the years that yes, while people follow me and they want to know, what I'm doing, the audience that likes Ace Blade is not necessarily going to support Black Rose. They're not necessarily going to support Elton, just because I post about it. There's a education that has to go in. There's an introduction that has to go in with each of these properties. Like you still have to do the work with each property. You can't expect that just because I built a fan base or a following with the one property that those people are going to go to the other. Like I was just at Acme Comics and we were talking about even literally Scott Snyder, um, written all types of Marvel and DC stuff, written all kinds some of our favorite storylines recently, and then he did an indie book, and even the people who were at the comic shops were surprised that nobody heard about it. Nobody
Mhm.
knew what it was. They had to do the education. They, bought all of these copies. And then when people came in, they hadn't heard about it because everybody's algorithm is different, and is tailored to them. So if they follow me and I'm talking about Ace Blade and they like Ace Blade, they're going to see it. But if I'm talking about Ballad of Black Rose or this new 100 comic book movies list that I'm doing, they might not see it. You have to be consistent and continue doing the work with each thing, and that is so important. And I'm still learning that. But you know, doing stories like Ballad of Black Rose makes me have to be creative in a different way. Like
Mhm.
you can market superhero comics in a way. Like there's plenty of examples of what to do to show to market comic book movies. You can do verses, you can do power scalings, you can do all kinds of stuff. Like I could literally write a Ace Blade versus Batman story and talk about it on TikTok, and people would watch that. People would like those videos. But I can't do that same thing with Ballad of Black Rose. I have to do something different. So it's really helping me be creative as a marketer, because even though I believe the story is good, I have to introduce it to the audience, and I have to find the audience that likes these things. I have to approach it from a different way. Like the nostalgia of superhero comics is not going to work the same way that the nostalgia of a Western does, or it's just a different thing. And I know you as a marketer, you know, understand that
I was
probably
going to
better
say,
than
I'm something of a marketer myself.
something of a scientist myself.
But no, it's true. Different products have different audiences. And as much as social media is selling yourself, you start to learn like the difference between selling yourself and selling a thing, selling wares, if you will. When it's time for the rubber to meet the road, you know, I'm curious as to like, because you successfully funded one issue of this book so far. Um, how would you describe the audience for Ballad of the Black Rose?
Oh man, it's weird because when I go to comic book conventions, it's funny because I can see a person's eyes light up when I talk about Ballad of Black Rose in a different way than Ace Blade, right?
Mhm.
So now because I've had some success on social media, people will come up to the page and be like, "Oh man, I've seen your stuff somewhere. I've seen you somewhere. I know you from somewhere. Oh, you're the Ace Blade guy or whatever, right?" But for people who haven't heard of me or Ace Blade or anything, I start with Ace Blade. I tell them, "Hey, my name is David J. Quick. We're just Fourth Wall Productions. I started writing when I was in Iraq. This is a superhero comic, Ace Blade, King Supreme, Lumberjacks." And then I say, and completely separate from that, we got Ballad of the Black Rose, which is a Western about a family starting a life. Oh, that's different. Like it's literally, you can see, oh, wait, that's not superhero. That's something different.
Right.
And that part it surprises me. Like I did 3 shows in October. I did 3 weekends of shows, and every single time, if somebody wasn't into the superhero stuff, if like, so if they say superhero fatigue is a thing,
Hmm.
but if they're just not into the superheroes, every time I talked about Ballad of the Black Rose, it was like, oh, that's something different. I I'm interested in that. So I think that has been the biggest shock for me.
I will say, like, for me, indie superheroes, it's not that they're hard, because I think all comics have something that's just inherently unique to themselves. So,
Hmm.
like, there's plenty to enjoy about all sorts of stories. But what I enjoy about most indie comics is that they're not superheroes, because we
Hmm.
get so many of those from week to week. And it's like, all right, cool. This guy's got a superpower. The villain's got to be like super OP'd, but
Hmm.
the superhero's going to win, right? Like,
Right.
rinse and repeat, right? And it doesn't matter who the hero is or really who the villain is, you know. It just matters that the artist can draw and the writer can write, and that there's not typos in the lettering boxes,
Right.
because that might distract from the story. But it's kind of like, again, there's an element of same old, but
Right.
it is really dope to me, just the breadth of storytelling that you get in the indies, like a western about a family with like some science fiction stuff mixed in there, right? Like, um, we're talking about Stephanie Williams. We weren't really talking about it, but I'll bring it up because Temporal was dope, right?
Right.
Like,
Roots of Madness was like, bro, like this is a breath. It's a breath of fresh air, man. It's
yeah.
like I didn't even know I was interested in these kind of comics, Like
Mhm.
I'm reading stuff because I know Stephanie's a good writer. I know Ro is a good writer. I know Wally is a great storyteller, a great writer. And I'm reading these things. I'm like, I didn't know that I thought I was just a superhero guy.
Mhm.
But I'm reading Search for Sadaka now. Like I want to see that come out. I'm reading Ruby from the Planet Oz. Like I'm reading these stories like, yo, these are good stories. Like these are things that I didn't know I was interested in until somebody presented it to me.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. Like just the pitches on its own, right? Like, what if Madam C.J. Walker was more of a scientist than a businesswoman? That's an amazing pitch. It's like,
right.
I need to see what that looks like. I would like to see it, you know? Um, a time traveling heist couple leave the life. So it's part Mr. and Mrs. Smith, right?
Hmm.
It's part like,
For the future. Yeah.
Back to the Future, right? Like, it's all of that, and it's black people wearing do rags to bed. Like, it's like, bro,
You're right.
like, that's amazing. So anyway, I love the storytelling that you get in indies, and that it's so different from the stuff that you see every single day. I've been doing the pull list now. Uh, it'll be 5 years of the pull list in January.
Yeah.
Um, the first ever pull list
Congratulations,
I
man. That's
did.
that's dope, bro.
Thank you. The first ever pull list I did. This will be a trivia question somewhere later, but was for comics releasing on Wednesday, January 6th, 2021. Can't think of anything significant that happened that day, but it was a really cool day for new comic books for sure. But
Yeah,
yeah,
right. What
I've
comic
been
books?
doing.
I don't know what comic books came out that day, but
Yeah,
I know somebody who does.
word. Yeah, it's right. It's right there on the page. It's still on YouTube. But for 5 years, over 240 episodes so far of the pull list, and there's only a handful of comics that I can be like, yo, this really stands out.
Mhm.
Like on a week to week or month to month basis, this like really rose to the top every single month for me. Right. Like this most recent one has probably been the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like
Mhm.
every month that it comes out, I'm like, this is my favorite book. I love it. Speed Racer's dope. It's only 2 issues in so far, three.
I
But
gotta pick. I heard you talking about it. I gotta pick Speed Racer up for sure.
listen, man, David Peppo is that dude is just gifted because it's like stuff that I should not care about is
Mhm.
really good. Like Captain Planet. Like I'm convinced that that dude could write a Magic School Bus comic, and I'd be like,
I
right
would
here.
I would read Magic School Bus though. I would definitely pick that up.
I would absolutely read a Magic School Bus comic. It doesn't even matter who wrote it. Like, listen, you know what I want? I want to see like, what if we're just pitching comics here. What if LeVar Burton of Reading Rainbow, right? Like, what if he's a character in a comic book that is reading these books to these kids, but like legit gets transported into the book.
Mm.
And then it's
A
like,
reading Rainbow comic book series.
right. And it's not, I don't have to be reading Rainbow. I'm just saying, like, let's just say, you know, children's TV show host, right, is
Hmm.
trying to make reading come alive for kids. What
Hmm.
they don't realize while he's filming the show is that this is really happening to him. Like he's really in these books trying to get through the adventure. I don't know. Something goes wrong. And now we got a two-part episode of Reading Rainbow. Like, will LeVar Burton make it out?
Hey, I'm down with it, bro. I would definitely check that out. If that's a if that was a podcast, I would I would listen to that if it was a podcast, bro. Like, or if it was a comic book series, definitely.
Or
Um, yeah, man, there's so many possibilities with storytelling, man. And it's, you know, we always say, like I said, they always say that the medium is dying, but I just don't see it, man. If I can if I can get, 10 issues of Ace Blade out, literally starting with not even knowing that black people made comics. Like if I can start from there and get 10 issues of Ace Blade and find people who are willing to support it, like there are no limits, man. There's nothing is nothing. What did Kevin Garnett say? Anything is
anything is possible.
possible.
Thought you were going to reference Honey Nut Cheerios, but um, now just because at this point we've promoted the book, right? We did the thing. I'm curious about this 100 comic book movies list. First of all, I
And
know there were 100 comic book movies to rank.
there are more. There's more.
Okay. So I don't know how far you've gotten in your rankings. What is a book that has surprised you that has made it on the list?
Um, I didn't know that. First of all, I didn't know that Time Cop was a comic book movie. You seen Time Cop with John Claude Van Damme?
That's before my time.
Yes.
I've heard of it.
But it was one of my favorite movies. I'm a little bit older than you, but that was one of my favorite movies. Um, so that one, surprised me because I just didn't know it was a Dark Horse comic, and
Hmm.
they had a bunch of them, but everything else has been pretty standard so far. Like I've started at 100 with Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance was my number 100. That movie was so terrible. Um, then I got Barbed Wire is 99. Pamela Anderson. Then I got Madam Web at 98, and then The Son of the Mask. The Mask movies. I
Yes.
I didn't know that the Mask movie started as comics, and the first Mask movie is going to rank pretty high on my list.
Word.
Um, so there are definitely some surprises to come. Like I haven't seen Road to Perdition lately, but I remember it being a good movie. And
Hmm.
then there's Two Guns with Mark Wahlberg and um and Denzel Washington. I almost forgot Denzel Washington's name just now.
That's crazy.
Um, and there are some on here that'll surprise people, but I'm just having fun with it. And Morgan is doing horror movies, so he's doing the top 100 horror movies. So
Hmm.
as a person who wants to make, a comic book movie someday, I love comic book movies. And I was just like, I think this would be a little fun thing, to put together a list of the top 100 and, just talk to people about
Word. Now, as you're watching these movies, do you shift in the rankings? Like, is it possible that Madam Web moves up from 98?
them. I think it will only be possible for Madam Web to move down. Um, but yes, it's already happened. I watched Max Steel.
Okay.
And I remembered it. I was going to rank it very low. Like it was going to be my 96. It was going to be
Hmm.
96. And I decided because it was on Prime for $3, I was like, let me rewatch it so I can actually talk about what it is that I don't like about it. And I actually really like that movie. Like the special effects held up. The costume design, like they did some practical effects that I really liked. And the story was not bad. Like it was really like Kyron is doing StarCore right now, and it really reminded me of that kind of thing. And I was like, this was not a bad movie, and it got bumped up like 20 spots, right there close to Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze,
Word.
which got put down on my list because it was high until I rewatched it, and I was like, this movie was not as good as I remember.
I'm curious as to where Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 ranks. Um, have you ranked it yet?
I haven't yet. I feel like that one might not make the list. There are some movies that will not make this 100 list, and that might be one of them.
You're
Um,
telling me Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 is worse than Madam Web?
Maybe I'm gonna rewatch it because I did. I bought the 4 pack of the other two, but the Michael Bay Ninja Turtle movies are definitely not making the list. So um, that was the third Ninja Turtles 3 might make the list, but those two, my Michael Bay ones probably won't at all. So
Yeah. I'm
there
gonna
is a
be
chance. There's a possibility. So we'll see.
I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Like I do not remember the second Ninja Turtles movie. I begged my mother for the Ninja Turtles movie.
Mm.
And by the time she bought it, it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 that she
Oh
bought.
wow, good
And
grief!
I hated that movie so
It was not
much. Like, I could not get past them being dressed like samurais and having like this time traveling lamp.
time travel, and and that's the thing. Like that's the thing that in my list, like I really love time travel movies, but if they're done, Madam Web is that low because first of all, it's not a good movie, but it's a time travel movie, and it's a terrible time travel movie, and I love time travel movies, which is
Mhm.
why Time Cop is number 60 because it's not a great movie, but the time travel in it was done very well. Um, so it's something I'm having fun with, and it's kind of in the same vein. I'm also like preparing like in my marketing mind, like I'm training the algorithms to let me talk about movies and comic book movies, just in case I might want to do a Kickstarter for comic book movies. So now I already have an audience baked in that likes that kind of thing. So there's some strategy to it too, but it's at least something I enjoy doing.
For sure. For sure. Time traveling movies, right? Um, one very perfectly rated time travel movie is experiencing its 40th anniversary this year. That is Back to the Future. Back to the
Mm.
Future Part 3 is one of those books that, like, when people feel like they're being cheeky, like, ooh, that's one of the best Westerns, right? It is a Western, right? But like, you're not clever for saying it. But it is a Western. It is good. Although I think my favorite of the trilogy is Back to the Future 2.
Yeah,
Like,
two I think is my favorite also. I really like two. They took all the best stuff from the first one and dialed it up a little bit. And yeah, I like two the most. But one and two are really good time travel movies. Like they just are, man. And a good time travel movies are hard to come by. I mean, there's so many different ways to do it. But Infinity War, time travel movie. Like there's some good comic book time travel movies too. So um yeah, it's just one of those things that I love a lot, man.
word, word.
And I'll say here on the no, I'm not gonna say that. That's too much of a spoiler. Um, but I'll tell you offline if you want to know.
Okay. Okay. So we'll time travel a little bit to back before this Kickstarter went live, right? Again, you can back for just issue two if you already got issue one in your life. You can back for just issue two. I feel like I must have backed digitally last time because I don't think I have this book physically. I might have taken for granted, like, oh, I'll see them, I'll just grab it in person, and then didn't do it. So I got to back for the full catch up pack, right? But what other things are up for grabs? We got issue one, we got issue two, we got digital copies. What else we got?
I'm trying to do something special, and by the time this airs, we'll know if it happened or not. But I'm trying to do blind bags. Blind bags are all the rage right now. And
Mhm.
I know you know this because I've been seeing your videos. But I'm trying to do some blind bags. I'm bringing back some of the rare variants from issue one, and we got some variant codes for issue two, and we also got the hollow foil from issue one. These are super rare, and I'm gonna put I think 4 of these in the blind bag. So I'm gonna try to do 100. So this will be the 1 in 25 um, variant that'll be in the blind bag. So um,
Yeah, I definitely didn't get that. I need that.
if if we are able to pull it off, in time, I think that that's something that people will be excited about. And yeah, we got a lot of fun things, man. I've been learning how to play a little guitar. So Might be seeing a little tune coming soon, but I'm having fun with it, man, and I appreciate you having me on.
Oh yeah. Yo, I I would pay just to see this video of Danny because you know he's gonna be in his best Sheriff Woody cosplay, playing the guitar with a toothpick. Well, a little thing of hey, that's
Yeah.
that's gonna be great. That's gonna be great. All right. Well, again, go to comicsaredope.com/Black Rose to go back the Kickstarter campaign. It's live now. Like I said, by the time you're hearing this, although I will clip something up for the people just so they get something pre-launch and they get a chance at some of these day one goodies. So if you were not one of the lucky ones, don't worry. Campaign's still live. You can grab all these issues. You can grab physical, you can grab digital, grab a blind bag. There's a lot. There's a lot there for you. So, huge thank you to my brother, Mr. Danny J. Quick, creator of Ace Blade, creator of Lumberjacks, all of that. I love you, Morgan. But yeah, huge thanks for being here. Go back the campaign. Anything else you want to say? Where can people find you?
Oh man, best place to find us is our website, fourthwallpros.com. If you want to find me on social media, it's at the Ace Blade on all social media platforms. Y'all just make sure that y'all read something dope today.
Peace.